Dare to Dream, I like to inspire and motivate adults to dream again. Because as we go through life and take on our different roles and responsibilities, we tend to put our dreams on the back burner. And my goal here at Dare to Dream is to help you pick those dreams back up and to pursue them again. Now, I want you to understand, I started Dare to Dream because I wanted to relay my message and my heart and my feelings across to whomever would listen. It can be difficult getting your closest family and friends to understand the way that you believe and when you try to express it and share it. So this was like my backdoor way into letting everybody know. Now, I may have lost some viewers as a result of that because they don't agree, and that's fine. I am definitely a proponent of everyone having their own thoughts, their own process, their own mindset that works for them. Your religion works for you, you keep that. No one's telling you to get rid of that. Whatever it is that works for you, continue to use it. I'm just saying that sprinkle some of this other information on it, this personal development information that I'm providing you, and see where your life takes you and how you take off personally. Always remember, we are in control of how we see our environment. I don't care what everyone says it looks like or everyone says it is. We are in control of how we choose to perceive the environment. Hey dreamers, welcome back. And thank you to all the new dreamers who stopped by Dawn Dares to Dream today to see what we're all about. We are on the last video in the Pain, Hurt, and Trauma series. And in this particular section, my goal is to talk about why I wanted to release the pain, hurt, and trauma in hopes to inspire you to understand why you may need to release the pain, hurt, and trauma. Again, if you have not subscribed to my channel, there's a red square button down here, rectangular button, I'm sorry, that says subscribe. Click on that. That way you'll be subscribed to the channel. Also, there is a workbook associated with this series. It's Releasing the Pain, Hurt, and Trauma. There is a link in the description for this video. Go down halfway where it says shop, click on that link, and it'll take you to the site where you can purchase your Releasing the Pain, Hurt, and Trauma workbook. Also, I have provided a promo code in this week's and last week's newsletter. So what I need you to do is go to that newsletter and get that promo code. It's right in the first section on the left-hand side of the newsletter. Get that promo code and use that when you're checking out. And that way you'll get a hefty discount on your workbook. And if you have not subscribed to the newsletter club, what I need you to do is email me at dawndaresdream@gmail.com. The link to that, my email address, is in the description for this video. And what I need you to do is send me your first name and your email address, and I will add you to the distribution list for the newsletter. And you will receive all of the promo codes and all of the activities and the information that I am sharing in the newsletter. And so today I just wanted to be a little more candid, derobe a little bit, and just explain to you what my pain, hurt, and trauma did to me and why it was important for me to release it. Now, first off, if you've been watching my series, you do know that I've talked about previously that I didn't want to have any children. I literally didn't want to have any children. And I used to tell myself that the reason why I didn't want to have children was because I didn't want to bring a new person into this world, and the world was so bad and so corrupt. I didn't know how I would react if my little bundle of joy was impacted negatively by, the environment and, other people, was hurt, any trauma that could have been done to him. I just really was very uncomfortable with that. I felt as though I really wouldn't have any self-control, I'm going to say. And then if I don't have self-control and I do something to protect my child and now I can no longer be there for him, then what? Then he's left out into this world with whoever the other family members are who are going to care for him. But in my hurt state, I just didn't feel like anybody could take care of my child the way that I could. Mind you, I have no child yet, but this is what I thought. And this is like in my 20s. And in my 20s is where I thought that I was healed and free of, my past pain, hurt, and trauma. A lot of my issues come from neglect and abandonment. And so I have a fear of people just leaving me. I have a fear of people taking from me and not returning to me. And it's a horrible way to live. I developed this cold, harsh exterior to protect myself. And so when people would meet me, they would love the bubbly, nice side of me, but not quite understand the harsh coldness that I presented sometimes. But on the flip side of things, other people who probably were damaged as well used to tell me, I wish I could react the way that you did. I wish I could stand up for myself the way that you do. And that was my defense mechanism. I protected myself, and I was over the top with that protection. I didn't allow anybody in. Now, if I allowed you in, so I thought I was allowing you in, there were standards that you had to live up to. And the second you didn't live up to those standards, I was running out the door, because I was afraid that you were going to abandon me. Early on in one of my relationships, every time I argued with my boyfriend, I always thought that he was leaving me and it was over. And it wasn't until several relationships later that I understood that my thought wasn't normal. But I always felt that if I did not give people what they wanted, that they would go. In my mind, my parents were married. I talk about that a little bit in the newsletter, and they divorced, right? And I felt like my dad left me. We get back to Baltimore, and my mother's doing her best to kind of be there, but she really isn't. Between working and trying to have a relationship and having friends, there really wasn't a lot of room in her life to be the supportive mother that I desired and that I needed. So there's a lot of trauma here, just not understanding, why did my life have to be this negative? Why did my life have to take this turn? Why was I chosen to go through this junk, And I realized, when we talk about turning the pain into power and we are no longer victims, I realized everything I have been through made me who I am. And it allowed me to have the empathy that I do for people. And I have a whole lot of empathy. And I just love mankind. And it's what I've been through that's created that character in me. I have a strong work ethic. I don't know if I would have had a strong work ethic had I been raised any other way, but I was raised from a stance of lack. Like, we just lacked everything. Sometimes we lacked a home because we were getting evicted. We lacked food because we ate it all up and there was no more money to replenish it at the time. We lacked electricity, sometimes in the summer, sometimes in the winter. I remember one winter, it was so cold, we didn't have electricity. And I don't think my brother was living with us at the time. And my mother sees that her child, I can't really function like this. So she calls my Aunt Carrie. That's my grandmother's sister. And my Aunt Carrie lets me come over there. But by this time I had gotten sick. I was hoarse. I couldn't talk because I had been living in the cold, But what I'm saying is all of these things created character. So in my mind, I said, I don't want to be evicted. I don't want my lights turned off. I don't want my water turned off. I want to have basic needs met. And so I've always had my basic needs met. I moved out when I was about 19 years old and I lived on my own and I paid my bills and I was very proud of that. And it was my apartment, Then I transitioned from that to living with my cousin. And then that didn't work out because if you've seen my bipolar series, I talk a little bit about how I got to Texas. And so I found I was bipolar when I was diagnosed when I was like 27. And so that was a whole nother trauma in and of itself, because then I realized that I've gone through this period of mania, and not just at that moment, but from situations in the past that I didn't know. And I've hurt people myself, so hence I talk about damaged people hurt people, because I did as well. And so this whole series is really just about us understanding and coming together and knowing a lot of us have been through a lot of different things. And I'll stop with my story at this point. There's more to come. I'll share more later. But we all have a story. We've all been through things, even our offenders. And when I got whole and when I was healed, or close, I'm going to say not complete, but close, I did have a child. And had I not recognized some of the past pain, hurt, and trauma that I had been carrying around, I don't think I would have been the same mother that I was. Because you got to remember, for me, I have a mental illness that I'm dealing with. And then you talk about some trauma from the past that I got to deal with too. That's just too much. And then be a mother. And from 3 till 11, I was raising my son, at home myself. Now, granted, he has a dad, but he lived with me full time. There's a lot going on. So it's important for us to let that pain go, because there's so much things that we're dealing with. Life is so layered that it's important to release the past, because we cannot go back and regain that time. We can't go back and change anything. So let's concentrate on the present. But in order to truly focus on the present, we got to get rid of that negativity that lives within us. That's what this whole series is about. So I really thank you for taking the time to hang out with me and to go through releasing the pain, hurt, and trauma with me. And I'm hoping that there was some positive impact that I had on someone's life. Because the one thing I know, when we get rid of that stuff for good, life is just like so open and so free. I didn't know life could be this sweet, is what I'm saying. I didn't know, people. I didn't know. So I want you to have a sweet life too, dreamers. So get in there and do the inner work that is necessary so that you can have and live the life of your dreams and accomplish those goals. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Also remember that there's a share button down here with an arrow. Click on that to share this to your social media platform like Facebook. Leave me any comments that you may have. My face is going to be up here in a circle. If you have not subscribed to my channel, click on my face, select the gray bell, select all. That way you'll be subscribed to my channel and you'll be notified to all the new content that I place up here to YouTube. And on this side, I'm actually going to put the Releasing Pain, Hurt, and Trauma playlist. So that way you can go back and you review any of the videos that you may have missed. And remember, you got to get that workbook. The link is in the description for this video. It says shop. Click on that. And we have a promo code in the newsletter. Send me your first name and your email address to dawndaresdream@gmail.com. Have a great day, dreamers.